Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So, actually, like the most chillest video of all time right now. Literally been spending all day making videos. Actually, probably one of the last videos you are seeing. But I'm on vacation right now, so I had to make like 6 videos in advance. Took all day. Freaking hot as hell in my YouTube room and stuff like that. Should be packing right now for my actual vacation, but I'm not because I wanted to bring you guys one last video. And I thought this was a good time to do it. I wanted to tell you guys how I became a successful NBA 2K YouTuber, NBA YouTuber in general. And just kind of give you guys like, going back to day one, how I got up to this point of having almost 170,000 subscribers. Now, I will say, first and foremost, I don't think I am successful. I think that's a big part of it. Because you can always be better out there, man. I don't like the word successful for that reason, that you can always be better at whatever you are doing in life. Have it be, I don't know, maybe you're trying to become like, maybe you want to start like lifting weights and stuff like that. Well, maybe at first you were lifting the bar and you finally got that bar up a few times. You're like, okay, I'm successful at this. But realistically, you don't feel successful. You're like, oh, I want to start bench pressing 200, 300 pounds, stuff like that. So there is always room for improvement. I think that's a mindset you need to have in everything in life. Especially if you're passionate about it, then you will always feel like you can get better and never be successful. But let's start going way back. Like when did I first start watching basketball? Because I want to tell you guys how I got to like rebuilds and everything like that. Okay, so started watching basketball when I was 12 years old. I believe I went to my first Pistons game then because it was the year that they actually won it all. Like I said, man, I was 12 years old, bit of a hype beast, but at the same time, it was the Detroit Pistons, which was my home my home state team. So, I mean, it's not really a hype beast if it's your own team, right? Maybe a little bit, because that's when I started watching. But yeah, so I went to my first game. It was against the Milwaukee Bucks. My aunt actually knew somebody from somewhere, and I actually got to go down on the court and shoot a free throw. My bitch ass did brick it. I did brick a free throw at the Palace of Auburn Hills. But it was really cool just like being down there, the whole environment. I remember the game was won because the Pistons were down by 1. And for some reason, the Bucks intentionally fouled Chauncey Billups, who made 2 free throws to win the game. It was whack as heck, but it was really cool, guys. Loved the game ever since then. Watched so many Piston games. So yeah, I did that. And then finally, my stepdad bought me my first NBA 2K game. I think he was at like the store or something, and it was the one with Ben Wallace on the cover. And he picked it up. I think he got it for like $20. And I remember getting that game. And I mean, ever since going back to being 12 years old, I have not put the game down ever since. I've been playing 2K every single year since then. Get the game at midnight every single year. Just absolutely love it. I don't know why. I just love it so much. And going back to the PlayStation 2 days, I did a lot of like online my leagues. That was so much fun because people were always cheesing and stuff. You would start getting kicked out of a league. People were like creating websites for your league and everything like that. The first one I played in, it was called like ABA. And that was the league to be in, man. Like, everybody was trying to get into the ABA league. Had all the best players out there. And so many times, man, I would get in that league, finesse, do a little cheesing. And then I would come back, make a new PSN, get myself right back in the league. It was some really good times. I just remember getting that online emulator for that PlayStation 2 when it just opened up a whole new world. Because before that, I was just, like, doing, like, offline association, which was still fun and everything like that. So eventually I made my way to the NBA 2K website because on there it actually kept track of like the 2K league. So it was kind of like having an app for your league before apps were a thing, before smartphones were a thing, which was awesome. And there was an online association forum. And on there, that was like when I first saw like my league or like rebuilds or my GMs, whatever you want to call it, for the first time. Because people would actually like write these long ass threads of rebuilding a team. Like, okay, I'm the Detroit Pistons. Here is my starting 5. Okay, I traded this player for this player. This is why I did it. This is my mindset going into it. So it was like reading a rebuild. And it was cool. Like, it was interesting. I always try to do it myself, but I'm so impatient at times that I'm not really the greatest writer either. That I never really got into it too fully right there, but I always loved reading them and stuff like that. So that was probably my first like exposure to that type of thing. Then all of a sudden, YouTube did come around. Man, YouTube's been around for like, 10 years now? So at the time of YouTube being around, I was like 16. Damn, dude, I wish I would have started doing it right away because some of those guys that started right away, they are still around. They got millions of subscribers. And like you probably, my first exposure to NBA YouTube was Chris Smooth. So I loved watching his My Team stuff, his My Career stuff. The first stuff I started watching, though, was he was actually part of an online league that eventually I did make myself into. So that was really the cool feeling, just like being in the same league with as Chris Smooth. At that time, he had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So it was just like, you wanted to have a chance to play Chris Smoove. Of course, you won every single game. I will say, though, man, that league was tailored so Chris Smoove would win. Like, if Chris Smoove was losing, you were getting kicked out of that league. Because every single video he won in, he would freaking cheese with the posts and stuff like that. I just remember those days. Oh, my God. It was a lot of fun, though. Definitely a lot of fun being able to kind of merge my love for online My League over to being able to play in a league like that with really the only guy at the time doing NBA 2K YouTube stuff, because you were not making money with YouTube at that time, so it was definitely a whole new thing. So 1 or 2 years down the road, eventually got to the point where I started seeing other guys make YouTube channel. You had like your Sub the Gamer out there who had like 20K subs. You all know the OGs up there, iPod King Carter, Gento, guys like that. And one day I was just like, you know what, man, I want to do this. Like, this sounds like fun. I'm going to do it as a hobby. It's like I play 2K anyway, so why not somehow make videos out of it? Because I was actually already passionate about video making. I remember it was probably like, I don't know, 8th grade, 9th grade seminar class. I had my buddy Weston, and we talked about YouTube all the time, guys. And I mean, I had like a low-key channel. It was called The Craig Show. And I would literally just like take clips of NBA player highlights and put music over it, much like how you see like mixes now. And man, it was stupid as heck, but it was really good learning experience, just like getting into the basics of editing. It was really big for me to do that. And my buddy Weston, he did like machinima stuff out there where he would do like gameplay and voiceovers. Fun fact though, my friend Weston, he actually has a degree in video editing now, where he does like cinematography and stuff like that. It's like his full-time job. So I love seeing that. He's still, we always still talk every now and then. He, congratulates me on my YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, so I was doing that for a bit. And then my buddy, basketball noob, Austin, Frank, and Weston, they actually had a YouTube channel that they started in high school. It was called WeSteal Jokes. And that right there was pretty much a channel where we just did like, they did like skits and stuff like that, a lot of funny stuff. I mean, just little things like that. The channel's still around if you want to look it up. It's got some really old crispy videos in there. But yeah, so yeah, they were doing that, and I was already friends with Weston. Me and Austin, we were friends going back to like 3rd grade. And then you got basketball noob, who this was like freshman year after graduating, so first year going into college. Because me and Nate, basketball noob, our personalities are so similar. Like, we didn't talk a lot in high school, so I think we knew of each other, but we didn't really know each other. And then Frank, like, he rode my bus, we were friends and stuff like that. So really, basketball noob was the only one that I really didn't know. And I still remember to this day that Weston and Austin and Frank, they were all cool with me, like, coming to film a WeSteal Jokes video with them. I thought it was awesome, guys. And then Nate, he still tells me this, that, like, he was just like, oh my God, this freaking loser nerd's gonna come in here and, he's gonna ruin everything. It's gonna be awkward. But me and Nate really clicked like this, man. Like, we were just, and honestly, like, I'll probably say, like, if there was a best man at my wedding, it would no doubt be Nate now. So that's really cool how we became friends and stuff like that. So yeah, so then it started getting like fewer and far between that we were able to film WeSteal Joke stuff. But I really wanted to film more because I love YouTube so much. My buddy Weston, he actually is Mormon, so he had to go away on his mission trip. So he was gone for 2 years. That really did hurt a lot because he was one of my best friends. But of course I respected his, it's his religion and stuff like that. But it just sucks losing a friend like that. So when he was gone, I was like, I vowed to start a YouTube channel. The reason I wanted to start that channel was because I was like, okay, by the time Weston is back, I'm going to have subscribers that I can tell to go to subscribe to WeSteal Jokes. So I started KrispyFlakes. Now I remember being in my buddy Frank's garage, telling like Nate and Frank and Austin, I'm going to start this channel probably 2K base. My goal is 10,000 subscribers. And at that time, we all thought there was like no chance of me meeting that, just because that was such a large number at that time, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But I started doing it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I remember I got like my first 100 subscribers, and it took a long time to do that. And then I remember watching a new channel called Sub the Gamer. Okay, so I messaged Sub the Gamer, STG Sub the Gamer, who had about 20,000 subscribers. Sent him a message asking for advice. Did not think he was going to respond back. And he responded back with like a multi-paragraph thing, just giving me all this advice, telling me to stick with it. And to this day, Sub the Gamer, he's still always on Twitter posting about like motivation, stuff like that. And I know for a fact I would not be here if it was not for him. I owe that guy so much, man, for kind of having my back and just kind of keeping me going and stuff like that, especially when things went rough. So yeah, the first stuff I started posting on YouTube was a lot of my team stuff, pack openings, gameplays, did a little bit my GM here and there, episode-based series, which was a lot of fun. I wish I could bring that back. I don't really have a good way to do it, and the whole series has kind of died down a little bit anyway, so my GM's really not the wave anymore. So yeah, I loved doing that. Very stressful, because I was very self-conscious about my YouTube channel. I thought that if people found out about me doing it, they thought it would be weird. So my dad actually went up north a lot to see his girlfriend. When he went there, I would literally spend all weekend making videos, enough to have for the entire week. Or maybe my dad would go out to the store or something, so while he was out, I would have my recording ready to go. It's like, okay, I gotta do this when nobody's in the house. That's the only way I'm gonna do this, otherwise it's not going to get done. And I did that for a few years, and just posting as probably every single day any way I could. And it got to the point where I got to like 3,000 subscribers, had like 1,000 videos made. It takes a long time, guys. And I remember I was at Central Michigan University. That was the school that a lot of my friends went to, so that was like my party school, okay? So I went there, and I remember it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, probably buzzed off something, and I remember getting an email saying that my YouTube channel has been terminated. Lost all that work, guys. Was thinking, like a lot of people probably would have started a new channel, but I was like, you know what, I gotta get this channel back. It's got like 3,000 subscribers on. I could just restart, but I love the name KrispyFlakes and stuff like that. So I literally spent a month, probably like 5 hours a day, going through Google forums, trying to find some sort of support. This was before YouTube had like any sort of support whatsoever. It was nearly impossible, man, to get a hold of anybody. Everything was automated, even worse than it is now. And finally, I got to somebody that was able to help me get my channel back. But at the same time, I lost all my videos. I lost 1,000 videos, guys. That's why if you go back on my channel right now, the first video you'll see is Minecraft. That was not my first video. I had 1,000 videos before that I did make. But at the same time, that was a chance for me to like restart. It was time for me to be like, okay, that first 1,000 videos, those first 3,000 subscribers, that was the trial run. Let's start something new. And for like 2 days, I was like, all right, I'm going to try posting Skyrim and Minecraft and bitch ass stuff like that. And then eventually I was just missing 2K. I was like, no, man, I want to be a 2K channel. I want to be a basketball channel. That's what I know out there. So I started doing that. Started off once again doing the My GM series. I think it was like Boston Celtics, did a Pelicans one, which actually took off more so than really. That was like my first like big time My GM series that took off view-wise. And then I started doing something called What Ifs. Now, these were not the same What Ifs as Mike Korzemba, because really at this time, the only What If that was around, because I remember like searching to see if anybody else was doing anything like this, the only What If around was like 3 months old. It was on Mike Korzemba's channel. It was something with the Portland Trailblazers. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing What Ifs with NBA 2K simulation. And I did like Michael Jordan going back to the Bulls. Something about LeBron James going to the 76ers if he could help them win games, and that was taken off from me. So at the same time, Mike Korzemba was doing his What If series, which turned out so much better than mine, man. So much better than mine. It's like, I definitely took the wrong path with that. At the time, if I would have put more work into them, who knows, I could have been, could have a million subscribers by now. But, Mike Korzemba is absolutely perfect for what he does with the What Ifs. So props to him for really finding that market in the NBA community out there, right? So yeah, I remember his first big one was Steph Curry going to the Knicks. But for me, it was working for the simulations. They weren't really that hard to make, so it was nice for when my dad, would go to the store, I would be able to make a few What Ifs that would last me a few days and stuff like that. So I absolutely loved doing that, and it was just fun because there was nothing else like that around at the time. So meanwhile, I'm building up my channel here, trying to get to that first 10,000 subscribers. Took absolutely forever. In the meantime, I did work full-time, and I was going to college. Guys, it's important to know, if you want to do YouTube full-time, you need a backup plan. Plain and simple, man. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, I was working full-time at a credit union. I was doing some DJing on the side, DJ Crispy and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, making some extra money. Went to college, get my bachelor's in finance. I did end up graduating about 2 years ago with that. And eventually, I was still building my channel. Got to the 10K subscribers, absolutely crazy. Eventually that 10K became 50K. Eventually that 50K became 100K. While I hit 100K subscribers, I was, working a full-time job out of college, graduated, was working in purchasing, which is kind of like the opposite of sales. You're buying the stuff instead of selling it. Hated it, but it was a pretty good paying job for me. I was getting paid like $20 an hour, so that definitely was not bad right out of college. And it was an okay job. I mean, it was a 9 to 5, got weekends off and stuff like that. But yeah, so throughout all this, I was doing the My GMs, and then eventually rebuilds became a thing. And I gotta say, 100% credit, 100% props goes to CSB. He was the founder of the rebuild. No doubt, man. He was the founder of the rebuild. He was the one that first started doing them. And eventually rebuilds did kill my GM. It's like nobody wanted to watch an episode-based series no more. They wanted to see a 10 to 20 minute video of teams getting rebuilt and just be done with it. And at the time, it's like, yo, a 20, 25 minute video, nobody's going to watch this. But that became the wave, man. People like the longer videos, which is cool. So, yeah, full props to him on that. Started doing that. And, you know, my channels just started doing really well ever since. I've still been doing that and everything like that. So, yeah, here I am. About 5 years later from starting YouTube, I'm at 170K subscribers. There's guys out there that started doing YouTube with me that have become a lot more successful in that amount of time for different reasons. And there's guys that have started with me that have not become as successful. But for my standards, I'm happy with where I'm at. My channel continues to grow. I try to stay humble about it. It's awesome being able to do this full time for you guys out there. I wanted to say straight up, man, that for me to get to this point, you know, it took me losing my channel. It took me trying a billion different ideas out there. Even today, I'm still trying different ideas. And it just takes a mindset and a grind and having the passion to succeed. Don't go into YouTube thinking you are going to do it full time. Don't going into it think you're going to get 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 subscribers. Go into it having fun, but being passionate about it, and eventually things should work out. I'm not going to say it will because there's luck that comes with it too. There's, you know, the algorithm with YouTube. Right now, YouTube is more difficult than ever to become big on because everybody wants to. So, yeah, hopefully this did help for you hearing my story about this. It was definitely fun to make. So, yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like. No, man. I got to do the old saying. This is my old saying. Hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful night. Whenever you're watching this video, be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.